I'm a Secret Mermaid nail art tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you these mermaid themed nails with a whole bunch of new powders that I got from Born Pretty store. So I've got there's a couple different hollow powders, there's a couple thermal powders that change color, there's a cat eye one, and then there is a mermaid powder, which seems appropriate. And I really, with all of these intense and sparkly and color changing and fantasy type things, I really wanted to do something that was kind of in that fantasy realm as well. So I went with mermaid themes, and so there's it says mermaid on one of the nails, and then the one next to it, or before it I should say, is got some black thermal powder, and if you warm it up, I'm really cold so it's not going to do it right now, but if you warm it up it's going to become clear, and then underneath it says I'm a secret. So if you put those two nails together it says I'm a secret mermaid. So there's a secret under the secret thermal powder, which I just think is so funny and perfect, and I'm sure that I'll come up with a whole bunch of additional uses for that thermal powder in the future as well. So I hope you like this, and don't forget to click subscribe to my future videos as well. So here's some of the stuff that I got from Born Pretty store. I'm going to start by showing you guys this brush that I have, and I'm going to say a little bit more on the brush later on. I got this brush to replace one that I've had from Born Pretty store for a couple years now, and I thought that it was going to be the same size. It's a little bit bigger, so I guess I'm keeping that one that I have that is so teeny tiny, but this one is definitely small, and it does, I mean, I did all of the painting in this video with it, and it does the job. It's just a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is a-okay. I mean, I can always use multiple sizes of brushes. That's not a problem. And then I'm going to also be using some of these lint-free little wipes that I have that I got from there as well. They come on a roll, which is nice. That keeps them all contained. You can leave them in the box or take them out, whatever. And then there are these rhinestones that, again, you will see on my nails in a moment. There's a black side, or it's like an iridescent side, and then there's the white ones. These are a little bit odd, I should say. They aren't perfect. Then the color kind of variates from them a little bit. I don't know if you could see that very well. They're a little imperfect, but there's an awful lot of them, and they're a pretty good price, and they held up really well. The color didn't wear off of them. I know sometimes, like with studs and things that are less expensive that are on the lower end, the color wears off of them and they turn like a beige color. That did not happen with these. The color is all the way through them, so you don't have to worry about that. They're just a little bit odd. So it's hard to explain exactly what I feel about them, but you can tell that they're made in a mold, because sometimes there's like a little bit of a little extra bit around them, if that makes sense. But all in all, I would say that there are so many of them that if you're not super particular, I mean, it's a pretty good deal anyways. And then I've got these little gold rings that are, they're ovals actually, that are amazing little frames, and I use them, and I just put a shell stud in the center. But for things in the future, I'm sure I'm going to come up with several uses for these little gold frames, because they're really versatile, and they've got the perfect C-curve on them to fit on a nail. So sometimes when you get things like that, they kind of stick up on the sides because I don't actually have the curve to fit on a nail. These do. So now here's for the powders, and there are so many of the powders, and I will try to identify them on camera which ones are which. And they all had a sealed for your protection thing, which I know that in the beginning Born Pretty store did not do that, but they do now. So here's the first one. I believe that one is going to be the mermaid powder. That one is, so it's almost, I would more call it like a purple mirror powder, not so much a mermaid powder. It doesn't have the iridescence that I think of when I think mermaid, but nonetheless it's really pretty, and you'll see I found a pretty good use for it, so I'll show you that too. So here's the next one, and I did end up giving up and finding a tweezers to open these, because I can never open these things. I try to, I give it my best, and then it just doesn't work. So here we go. Got myself pointy tweezers, and I'm just going to open that up. This one is the black thermal powder, and it looks very satiny, or I guess satiny is the word, in the little jar, and it's kind of weird to apply it. You'll see how I applied it later on, but it doesn't, because it is thermal, as you're applying it, it warms up, so it's hard to tell where you've applied it and where you haven't, so you gotta kind of like remember what's going on. So here is the next one. Believe me, opening things with a tweezer, much easier. This one I believe is the cat eye powder, I think, pretty sure, looked like it. And that one I didn't actually use in the design, but I do have a little demo of it as well. So then the next one, I don't remember what order I open these in, so I'm figuring this out as I'm watching it. The next one is, as I open it up, I'll be able to tell you another of those little sealed things. This one is the blue holographic powder, and it's a pretty thick glitter, so it's not going to be applied, it's not going to look smooth as you're applying it. You're going to be able to see the little individual pieces of glitter, which is a style, and it's gorgeous. It's just, I just wanted to clarify that. So if you think it's like a hollow chrome, it isn't. It's glitter. It's definitely glitter. Then I've got these little hexagon glitters that are, I've actually tried to purchase bigger hexagon glitter in the past, and I always end up with them being tiny. That has happened to me a couple different times. So when these came and they were actually larger, I was super excited because I've tried to find them. These are stunning. They are clear, but they've got really a lot of iridescence to them, and they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So then the next one, this one is going to be the pink thermal powder. And the pink one I also did not use in the video, but it works just the same as the black and just as well as the black, so I'm sure the rest of their colors are equally as successful and equally as usable. So there's the pink one, and they all come with a little eyeshadow brush sponge applicator thing to apply the powders. Generally speaking, I would rather use a silicone tool, but especially for the thermal powders, the little sponge is probably the best thing to go with. And so then this one is the purple holographic powder, and oh my goodness, it is so pretty. Those two are just gorgeous. So now for the cat eye, what you do is you apply a no wipe top coat, you cure it, and then into that tacky layer you put in the cat eye powder. You remove the extra, apply a layer of top coat, any gel top coat is fine, and then you hold a magnet to it. Now I could not find my cat eye or my magnetic powder magnet. Don't know what happened to it. It's just MIA. So I used a different magnet and it did work out. I just want to say that that's why I'm using a weird magnet, because I know I have one, I just don't know where it is. So the cat eye powder worked well. Unfortunately, it didn't really show up as anything in the video because it's so dark, but it did work out. So now I'm going to begin, and I have dipping powder on my nails, just clear, so it's almost like an acrylic overlay. That is why I'm just starting this right on my natural nail. If that's not the case, you're going to want to apply a base coat and such. So I'm going to start with on my index nail and write out I'm a Secret Mermaid just on that dipping powder, just straight on that, and then apply a layer of top coat that does have a tacky layer. You want the tacky layer here. Then into the tacky layer, start applying that black thermal powder and just rub it in. And like I said, it's kind of weird because some of the areas, especially around my cuticle, looked like it wasn't sticking. Later to find out that that's just because it was warming up and becoming clear there. Remove the excess, apply another layer of that same top coat that's got the tacky layer in it. So you want to make sure that you use one that does have tack. And then cure it, take it out, and then rub another layer of the thermal powder into it. Make sure that you really do rub enough powder. Don't be stingy on it. Make sure that you use plenty. And unlike with chrome powder where the stuff goes forever, this is not quite like that, so definitely use enough. Remove all the stuff that's hanging out around your nail, and then apply a layer of no wipe top coat this time. So that's a no wipe, and then I'm going to be taking the Mermaid powder and burnishing that into the no wipe top coat and just really rubbing that in with this little applicator as best as I can. Once again, normally I would go with a silicone tool instead. So now on the rest of the nails, I'm going to be applying a layer or two of black gel polish, depending on how opaque yours is. And then I'm going to be applying a layer of that no wipe. Now for the nails that have the holographic powder, which this middle nail does, I cured it for 15 seconds. That is it in my LED lamp, no longer than 15 seconds. And then I'm going to be burnishing in that really gorgeous purple holographic powder onto the middle nail. Apply a layer of that no wipe top coat once again. So that's another layer of top coat. There's lots of top coat in this video. And then I'm going to be writing Mermaid with white paint. And I'm still using that brush that I mentioned. Like I said, that's just a little bit bigger than I would normally go with. And to do Mermaid, I wanted it to be really easy to read and really big. So I wrote MER on the top portion of my nail. So I was just kind of splitting it up so it was easier to see. And then MAID in the lower half of my nail. So this also makes it a lot easier if you don't have a teeny tiny brush, if you write things in more than one line like this. I mean, nails are only so big, so you can only write so much in such a small space. So then I did that, and I did it all with capital black letters, like I said, just to keep it easy to see. So then on the ring nail, once again, on no wipe top coat that's 15-second cured, I'm going to be applying that blue holographic powder into the not really tacky surface, but onto the surface of the nail. Like I said before, oh my goodness, this is the most gorgeous thing I think I've ever seen in my life. It is stunning. So then after I removed all the excess, I'm going to be applying a layer of gel top coat. And then before I cure it, I'm going to be adding all of the embellishments in there. So I'm going to take and first stick on one of those gold ovals. These ovals, like I said, they fit really, really well onto the C-curve of a nail, so they fit snug and they don't have any like little gaps that want to catch on anything. They did not catch at all. And then I took and grabbed a gold stud shell, and I stuck that in the center, and then a little rhinestone on the top and the bottom of the oval. On my pinky nail, on fully cured no wipe top coat, I'm going to be burnishing in some of that purple mermaid powder and then applying a layer of top coat. And before I cure it, I'm going to be grabbing 3 of those hexagon glitters and placing them down the center of my nail vertically, just kind of like little scales is what I thought of them as. And as you can see, they look really, really green over the purple, but they look pink in the jar, which is cool with any iridescent things like that. And then I'm going to be applying a layer of top coat on there and curing that. So now on my thumbnail, I'm going to start by burnishing in the blue holographic powder in the top half of the nail and the purple into the bottom half. And if you don't like really add a strict line, you can gradate them really easily just by blending the powders together and just kind of letting it happen, and it'll do it on itself. And then remove any excess. Just like that, apply a layer of gel top coat. Any gel top coat will do. And then before you cure that, go ahead, and I know I said before you cure it, but I don't listen to my own instructions, and I cured it, and then I'm thinking, oh geez, that wasn't very good. So I had to apply a little bit more. I'm going to be attaching my little rhinestones. So I added a really big iridescent rhinestone right in the center at the cuticle, and then I'm going to be adding 4 of those shimmery white ones that I got this time around from Born Pretty Store, those little ones that have, it's like a middle rhinestone with a little bunch of small ones around them. And then another one of those iridescent ones that's smaller down below. So then apply a layer of gel top coat to all of your nails. So any of the nails that have already a layer on them, apply another one. So even though those sequins already had a layer on them, add a second one, or they're just gonna pop off right away. So you wanna double top coat a lot of these things to make sure that the powders last. And I know that it doesn't really show up seeing this in the video, but you can read the I'm a Secret Mermaid through all of that mermaid powder and the thermal powder really easily. Unfortunately, it just doesn't show up in the video very well. And the purple does make the black look like it goes with the rest of the nails, which is why I made sure to add that mermaid powder over the top. So I hope you like this design, and please share recreations with me on Facebook and Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!